Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Jay. Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about these rumors that these rumors that have been floating around that Pedro Pascal has pulled out of um, the Mandolorian series in mid-season. Now, what I think about this was is like I'm glad he didn't pull out, but even if he did, it wouldn't matter anyway because it's a guy behind a mask. And the whole point of the Mandalorian was that he's a Mandalorian. That's his culture. He can't reveal the mask. I know he revealed himself to the droid and to Cara Dune at the end of season one, but they could have still worked it to where only they see it. They see it. So even if he pulled out, they could have worked around it if it was feasible. But as per the course with Star Wars, there's always that backstage drama that you see from Star Wars, like with just recently too with John Boyega, who played the character of Finn in the sequel trilogy, coming out saying that he felt like Star Wars wasn't really promoting him like that, and he felt kind of slighted his character, which was kind of true because if you look at the way the Force Awakens, how it was promoted. It was promoted as a black stormtrooper going rogue against what we didn't know at the time was the First Order, of some remnant of the Empire that wasn't destroyed after Darth Vader and Darth Sidious both died. And then, like, come to find out, there's this girl, and she's the main character. She's the chosen one, and Finn is nothing. Finn lost his chosen one status quicker than Tyrone Woodley. You know what I mean? So, and then the second movie, he was supposed to have this, another rumor that he was supposed to have this love affair with, um, with Kelly Marie Tran's character, aka Rose Tico. And it was one of the worst parts of of The Last Jedi. I mean, it was terrible. Um, the I forget the name of it. The thing they went off to the casino scene, Canto Bite. The Canto Bite scenes, totally not needed in the movie. And then again, another false rumor in episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. They said that it will be him maybe getting into a type of LGBT relationship with Oscar Isaac's character, Poe Dameron, and that didn't happen either. So a lot of times the writers of Star Wars will lead us on, and a lot of times the direction really doesn't know where it's going. Even with George Lucas, if you read Michael Kalinski's book, The History of Star Wars, in the book, it tells you that George Lucas didn't ever really know what he really wanted Star Wars to be about. At first, His initial idea for Star Wars was a Flash Gordon um, serial type thing. He wanted to write the Flash Gordon. He couldn't get it. He wanted to make Tupac. I mean, not Tupacalypse now, not Tupac's album, but he did want to. But interestingly enough, Apocalypse Now. I mean, the movie made by his mentor Francis Ford Coppola. But interestingly enough, about Tupac, George Lucas did want to cast Tupac in the role that Samuel L. Jackson later got as Mace Windu. Tupac did audition for it and he got the part, but unfortunately, the movie came out in 1999 and he was already passed away. But he would have been in a Star Wars movie. Tupac Shakur. Yep. That would have been pretty cool. I think Samuel L. Jackson didn't really do that good. Like, he's a good actor, of course. He's passionate about Star Wars. He's a huge Star Wars geek. You know what I mean? But the the lines he was given were just terrible. But to the point of it, what I'm saying is that even George Lucas did not know where he was going with Star Wars. He copied it from Akira Kurosawa's movie, The Hidden Fortress, which he became a huge fan of when he became into Japanese movies. And he made it up as he went along because initially Luke and Leia was supposed to be a love interest. If you watch A New Hope, that's clear. Like, it was supposed to be competition between Han Solo and Luke for Leia's affection. Not that Leia is his sister. The Leia is his sister thing was shoehorned in because the original story was supposed to be first trilogy about the father. Well, at first, no. I take that back. The father was somebody different from Darth Vader. It wasn't until they brought Lawrence Kasdan on in episode 5, which is the second movie, Empire Strikes Back, after the original writer passed away, that later it was changed to Luke, I am your father. But initially, the father and Vader was supposed to be the ex-pupil of Luke's father, not actually Luke's father. And there was no Yoda. I mean, there was no Yoda, and then later on in Qui-Gon with episode 1, they had a Qui-Gon, and you had to have that quick tie-in. Like, how the hell didn't Obi-Wan say that Yoda trained him? And so how the hell does that make sense? You know? But his trainer is somebody completely different. Qui-Gon was the rebel that they said Obi-Wan was. Obi-Wan to the Jedi Council wasn't a rebel at all. Like, when you see the story play out, it's like, how was Obi-Wan Kenobi a rebel? He went along with everything the Jedi Council said, even stuff that was ridiculous. The rebel was Qui-Gon. They told Qui-Gon don't train Anakin. He trains Anakin. He trains Anakin. He trains Anakin anyway. By the time Obi-Wan trains Anakin, Qui-Gon's already dead, and Yoda's giving him the permission. So they always made it up as they went along. So possibly with the creative with this, now you got Dave Filoni at the helm, and possibly Pedro Pascal was like, nah, I don't want this whole thing to take a different turn. Like this, for the first time ever, is showing us a different side of what it was like um after the Jedi won, the after Episode 6, the rebellion won. But what made this fills in the gaps because the Mandalorian because what made um the society so bad that they decided to form the First Order, that they were pining for a return to Darth Sidious's rule. Like we know Darth Sidious's rule was shit. You know, but the way things look in the Mandalorian, it's like at least he brought order to the galaxy. He brought stability to the galaxy. Ended the Galactic Civil War, which he started, true, but he ended the Galactic Civil War. And now things are just in chaos, and you need people like the Mandalorian to set things right, especially for the Mandalore people of Mandalore. They were done wrong by the Jedi in the Clone Wars and in the Civil War. You know what I mean? So, he's right not to trust them. Because even Luke realizes Luke is the last Jedi after Yoda and Anakin and Obi-Wan die, and even he realizes that the Jedi was conceited. They got into politics, and them getting into politics murkied the water for them. They were a religious group. They had their temple or whatever, and they were the guardians of the Old Republic. But they began to serve as an army to the Republic. You know what I mean? And that was what caused their downfall. Conceit, arrogance. And it's funny how art parallels real life because arrogance of the people in Disney and Lucasfilm about they're gonna write a trilogy of new Star Wars movies and they're gonna be so good and everybody's gonna love them, and virtually nobody loved them. You know what I mean? You have take for example the Canto Bites scene and the whole character of Benicio del Toro. It's like you have an anti-war activist in a war movie. Like, I know you want to expose both sides, the First Order and the Resistance as evil, and that war is ultimately evil. But it's Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? That's like having a Rocky movie where Rocky doesn't like to fight anymore. Rocky is anti-boxing. It doesn't make sense. You know? And then the tension with Rey and Kylo. The Rey and Kylo thing, I saw it coming, but it was. I always say that if they were going to do Rey Palpatine, they should have revealed that Rey was Palpatine in the second movie. Because. And then that gives her a chance. It gives her a chance to ponder her origins. In the first, they did in the third movie, in the third act of the third movie, it's like she doesn't even know until later. You know what I mean? Like that's what made the other two trilogies sync up. Like I said before in a different video, what made the other two trilogies sync up was um, when Luke discovers his origins in episode 2. He discovers that Vader is his father. He then has to grapple with should he do the right thing by helping his father or loving his father, or should he do the wrong thing by destroying his father? If he destroys his father, he becomes no better than his father. That's why Sidious says, take your father's place at my side. You know what I mean? So he grapples with that from 1 to 2. Anakin grapples with his anger after his mother dies in the hands of Tusken Raiders in episode 2. And he kills them all, and he confesses to Padme. He grapples with this anger, what he was capable of doing, destroying the whole entire race of people. Mm-hmm. Rey doesn't find out until later. Her grappling is grappling that she came from no one. But then you obliterate that by saying, oh, well, Kylo just lied. He withheld information. He knew all along she was Palpatine. She was a Palpatine, and Palpatine was her grandfather. It doesn't make no sense. Tell her in the second movie. So this way she can grapple with it. She grapples with virtually nothing in the second movie of the trilogy. The grappling and the struggling is done between Luke, what he was forced to almost do to his nephew, and his nephew's desire to want to break the enslavement bond ships of Snoke. So, and with this, the Mandalorian, it's kind of like a Han Solo thing, and to me, just like with Han Solo, just by the name itself, Han Solo, he was always out to do things for himself. But when he forms friendships first with Chewie, then with Luke, Leia, Han, and all Luke, Leia, and even Lando, he learns that you can't just depend on yourself. You need other people in your life, and that you can trust people, because we see in the prequel story in the Han Solo movie that every time he tried to trust people, um, it was the rug was pulled out from under him, and he didn't like with Beckett, Tobias Beckett, the role played by Woody Harrelson in the movie, pulls out a gun on him and tries to kill him. He says, "Never trust anybody, kid. Even a guy that was like his father." You know what I mean? That got him to defect from the army and everything. So, like, and Han tries to fight against his better judgments, and Kira even tells him, she's like, "You're one of the good ones," and you know that even after she turns him into, gives up his location to Darth Maul. But with this, the Mandalorian was on his own. The Mandalorian was a mercenary, just like Boba Fett. Boba Fett was a mercenary. Boba Fett was out to get Han Solo for Jabba the Hutt. And he wasn't just going to take money for a compensation. He didn't really care about the political backdropping of Star Wars, you know? So that was kind of like how Mando was. Mando didn't really care about that. He didn't like droids. He for sure as hell didn't care about the child at first. It was just a job to him. He didn't care about Cara Dune. He wouldn't even let her take off his mask. But the growth with him was learning to trust a droid, learning to trust um, a person, and learning to become like a father figure to Yoda or to the child, to Baby Yoda. So it's kind of interesting how Yoda in all the movies is like a father figure to Luke and a father figure to some of the younger Jedi, and now uh, Mando is kind of a father figure to Baby Yoda, guiding him, and it's not just a job to him, and he learns to trust that droid. So again, Star Wars is consistent with the theme they always have, which is change. How does this experience change Din Djarin from where he was, from the things he's seen to the things he hasn't seen? And Pedro Pascal knows this role very well. Having a different person play it is going to drastically change the dynamics of what this role represents. And when we see the Star Wars characters that fail, those are the ones who never change. Darth Maul never changes. Finn never changes. Rose Tico never changes. These ones never change. They remain stagnant in their boxes. But Kylo Ren and Anakin and um, Obi Wan and all the and Yoda. Even Yoda realizes that he, as wise and fallible as he is not all wise and fallible because he didn't see the looming specter of the Sith return. Anyway, peace. Good night, guys. Love you all. And I look forward to making more Star Wars videos. May the Force be with you always.